Steam NextFest is upon us once again, ready to squirt its salty, saucy, silky smooth demos all over our faces. If you don't know what NextFest is, it's Steam's showcase of upcoming titles with playable demos. This gives thousands of smaller developers a chance to let Steam's massive audience take a look at their work. So in this video, I'm going to go over what I believe are some of the best demos available during NextFest. Alaric looks like if Castlevania 64 was in first person. Two stupid brothers are on a quest to vanquish the Demon Lord, but one gets bored and quits to get some. The other ends up destroying the Demon Lord, but his lust for power leads him to succeed the bad guy throne. The quitting brother comes back to stop him, but gets his anus prolapsed, so his son Alaric Cassius sets out to avenge his father. Turns out, all you need to destroy an entire demon army is a gun.
Who needs courage when you have a gun?
Alaric is a first-person shooter Metroidvania that shows a lot of promise. The visuals remind me of those early 3D edutainment games that tried to trick us into learning as kids. You get your complimentary Belmont whip and set off to the Demon Lord's castle to clap some cheeks. The main gameplay loop is exploring the castle for new abilities and upgrades, which in turn allow you to access new areas within the castle. There are a handful of abilities available in the demo, such as kicky boots, a double jump, and an air dash.
Ah! He's here to fuck my ass!
There's a leveling system as well, and every level gives you a choice of stats to invest skill points into. The big highlight is the music. The metal kicks in when combat encounters start to get real. Which amps up the atmosphere. The switch between tracks can feel a little stilted and jarring, but this is a demo, and if that can be worked out, I think we've got a real indie gem on our hands. Skigill is a top-down roguelike survival game where the skill tree itself is painted on the combat area with the blood of sacrificed virgins. There are currently 3 playable characters, and each one starts on a different part of the skill tree. Enemies attack you in waves, and defeating them rewards you with resources to spend unlocking nodes on the skill tree. Having your upgrades be in a persistent spot and letting the player choose their upgrade path is a cool concept. It removes a lot of the luck usually involved in the genre. And having to actually map out a route to take and physically reach creates a whole new layer of planning and strategy. The skill tree itself reminds me of Path of Exile, in that it's massive. The potential for crazy builds here is impressive. I also like that the game doesn't tell you anything. In fact, there's barely any text at all. It lets you start picking nodes and figuring out your favorite weapons and synergies on your own. You can just go off in some random direction right at the beginning and start buying nodes if you want to. My biggest complaint is that everything is the same shade of cum colored.
This is cum!
Your character, all enemy sprites, and weapon effects look very similar. So when things start to ramp up, it's very difficult to see your character, which leads me to taking some frustrating damage as I move around. The gameplay combined with the meta progression for permanent upgrades makes Skigill look like a game that's going to be hard to put down when it finally comes out. Mad King Redemption is a side-scrolling beat-em-up roguelike featuring a beautiful 2.5D pixel art style. The titular Mad King donkey punches the queen so hard she dies, which makes him angry, so it's up to the land's heroes to destroy him. Every run begins with the Mad King taunting you. He has unique dialogue for each character, which is a nice touch, and offering you a forbidden jutsu that is incredibly powerful, but comes at the cost of some of your health.
A lot of people on YouTube, you're calling me a homo, all because one user on YouTube called me one.
There are 4 playable characters in the demo. They all have different stats and a special move unique to them. Every character has a dash, double jump, basic attack string, a block, a special move on a cooldown, and a throwable weapon. These basics form the beat-up gameplay that makes up the majority of the experience. You'll fight through hordes of the Mad King's minions as you progress, breaking up bits of the environment for wall chicken and armor to bolster your health bar. You can get a bit more of the lore and world building by standing near the paintings placed around the levels. I get a strong Golden Axe vibe from Mad King Redemption. It has a similar feel without being outdated and clunky. Mad King Redemption can nail the great run variety of the roguelike genre and pair that with strong meta progression. I think it'll be worth looking out for when it fully launches. Skull Horde is a necromancy simulator where you take control of a floating skull with the goal of raising a powerful skeleton army.
On the night of my ascension, I was by my own flesh.
Your little skull only has a pea shooter. Most of your offense will come from your stupid minions rushing to their doom. You explore procedurally generated dungeons in search of chests, shops, and challenge events that award you and your army with bonuses. There's a timer in the top right. Every time it reaches 0, the difficulty goes up, and the timer restarts. You want to explore and make your way through the dungeon before the difficulty increases to a point that you're overwhelmed. You spend your ill-gotten gains on upgrades for your army. You can have a maximum of 6 different minion types, and getting 3 of the same type upgrades them to a new tier. On tier 3, they upgrade to a champion for even more stat upgrades. You have to be careful and let your filthy minions do the dirty work. Taking direct damage splits it amongst all of your units, but ignores defenses. If all of your units are dead at the same time, You lose 1 life. Lose 3 and the run's over. I like the concept of being powerful enough to raise an undead army, but fragile enough that you need to be aware of your surroundings and positioning. The visuals are great too. All the units have several unique sprites and animations, and the entire thing is presented through this grainy, warpy CRT look. The demo is pretty limited, but as a showcase of what's to come, Skullheart shows a lot of potential once it's fully realized. Die or Die is like Nuclear Throne but made out of notebook doodles. It's a top-down shooter where the main gimmick is collecting dice throughout the stages to then spend in the shop. You have ranged and melee weapons. You get ammo back by meleeing enemies, so you can't just hang back and clear levels from afar. The goal of each stage is to defeat every enemy. Meeting certain criteria rewards you with dice. You can get them from chests, taking no damage, and clearing the stage under a certain time limit. The number shown on the dice indicates its value. Every time you visit the shop, you get 1 or 2 debuffs, and these can be removed by spending your dice. However, the same pool of dice is also used to upgrade your weapons and buy new abilities. You need to make a choice between getting the good stuff and which debuffs are not worth the cost to remove. Some of these debuffs make the game significantly harder, such as increasing enemy speed in an already fast game, increasing the amount of environmental hazards, or reducing the value of your dice when purchasing upgrades. Maybe I'm a stupid idiot, but I found this game really difficult. Character speed is really fast, and you need to get familiar with your melee range in order to avoid running into enemies. The further you go, the more debuffs accumulate, and it's impossible to get rid of them all, let alone have enough dice left over to purchase upgrades. I can see the skill ceiling for Die or Die being up to the heavens. The awareness and reaction time required to stay alive is significant, but the risk versus reward system forces you to make tough choices, something a lot of games claim they do but fail at. Die or Die is easily the most unique looking and sounding game I've played in a long time, and I look forward to seeing what it's like when it's done. There's my list of awesome NextFest demos. If you like to beat your meat, then click the video on screen. Otherwise, like and subscribe, or else.